We on a sister ship. Come with us, we on a sister ship. Yeah, we on a sister ship. Roll with us, we on a sister ship. Sister ship, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Let's talk about sister ship, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with you. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with you. Substance, sis, you know we on a mission, no games. Help each other get over some things. Yeah, strength bring change. Cause we've been through the rain. Now it's time to shine like flame. Let's talk about life skills. We building up our quality to right will. We rolling out of poverty, love heals. So we become the prodigy of how a sistership could be a really hot commodity. Stand together, we united, hold hands, support each other's dreams and our plans, doing everything we can just to show we understand the power of a friendship fam. They fight on purpose, together we learn. Hey, let's talk, we don't want to see you hurt, and we here for each other, no matter the color. Networking, that's for sure. Hey, yeah, we on a sister ship. Go with us, we on a sister ship. Yeah, we on a sister ship. Go with us, we on a sister ship. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with you. We're my sisters, we got this, sisters. You roll with me and I'll roll with you. Sister ship, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it. Sister ship, we got it. Now come on, let's talk about it.
Mama C, it's full.
All right, we are ready. I have unmuted myself. Jackie, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
All right, welcome everyone to It's On and Poppin' with Mama C, and I am Mama C. And with me tonight is my very special guest, my sister, Jackie Perez. Hey, Jackie.
Hey, Deb. Y'all up in the hills.
Hey, let me tell you something. You know, we're still here, girl, so that's a good thing. And so we want to make sure that our time while we are here is maximized. We want to max out our time, okay? We want to live it fully. So we're going to talk about growing your life to the next level. And so, you know, I think that people think once they get a certain age, particularly 60 plus, that it's time to kind of just get ready to phase on out of life. But you know what? I find that now that I've reached my 60s, oh my God, life has gotten more challenging, more interesting, more exciting, more fun. Oh, trust me, it comes with its ups and downs. But the reality is that if you're still here, then you still have a chance to live the life you love and absolutely love the life you're living. And so
Amen.
I'd like to start the dialogue this evening by reading a piece I put together that I think will help Jackie and I to kind of stay on course as we talk about this topic, and hopefully provide some strategic maneuvers, PowerPoints, and just some gemstones of wisdom that you can apply to your life. Now you got to take it and apply it. What we provide has to be applied. It doesn't magically happen. There's no magic pie that falls from the sky. We have got to do the work in order to create the life that we really want. And no matter what, I'm 66. And guess what? I have a life that I'm still envisioning, and I'm moving and grooving and working toward every day. I thought my life was going to look totally different at this point. But the bottom line here is, it is what it is. Reality is often way different from the illusions we carry in our head. Am I right, Jackie?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know? So I'm going to start off with this reading, and hopefully it'll help to create images and thoughts in your mind that you can plant within the garden of your seed, the garden of your soul, and nourish them and use them to maximize the quality of your life. So here we go. Growing your life to the next level. Does this sound like a familiar scenario to you? This is not what I wanted to do. I expected a lot more from my life. Life sucks. Happiness has become just a fleeting and very temporary experience. Feelings of discontentment have become a constant companion, not what I had in mind for companionship. Everything seems to be keeping me from living a life that's filled with a sense of fulfillment and contentment. If this is you and you feel like you are being held back from achieving and living fully within the life you dream of, then you should know it's not your situation that's causing you to live a life that's filled with anxiety, stress, and unfulfillment. You are the creator of the blockages that are consistently holding you back. The New York Times Pulitzer Prize columnist Maureen Dowd said it perfectly. The minute you settle for less than you deserve, you get even less than you settle for. And that is so true.
Yeah.
People have to understand, you're going to get exactly what you settle for. And I'm not settling for anything. One of the things I've learned to do is keep it moving. If this isn't working for me, if this is not embracing my soul, if this is not helping to add a value to my life, I move on. And we don't owe people any explanations for moving on. We just move on gracefully and keep it moving because we have value. We have a life. Every morning we wake up, when we are blessed to open our eyes, that's a new opportunity for us. But the key is, what are you doing with that opportunity? Are you living the same life you lived yesterday? There was a movie, I think, with, I forget his name, but it was called Groundhog, I believe. And every day he woke up, he was living the same life over and over. Same life over and over again. And I think that's what a lot of us do. We get up and we live the same life over and over again. As a matter of fact, your entire life is molded by your thoughts. You have to understand, our thoughts create our life. Our life isn't just, dumped on us. Our thoughts is what creates our life. When you focus your thoughts, good or bad, the outcome is what you create. Your thoughts keep you lost, down, foggy, depressed, and even bored, especially if you're taking on negative energy, if you're embracing negative thoughts. You're the only person holding yourself back from achieving your dreams. And if you notice the following signs, it's time to take your life to the next level.
Yes.
1, you feel like you deserve more. Jackie, you and I talked the other day. This is the impetus for the development of this particular show. You and I talked, and you said to me, if you say boo, I start crying. She said, yeah, talk about that. Talk about where you are and what you're feeling and what's stimulating you to realize that you need to add some new life to your life. Talk about it, Jackie, because this is real life, what we're talking about.
Well, you have the regular ups and downs of regular life. Then you have your issues and you have your relationship problems. And when you feel like, deep in my heart of hearts, I do my best with everything. I try to help wherever I can. And when you feel like you deserve more than what you put out more than you given,
right,
then you feel some kind of way. So
absolutely.
I feel like I was stressed out and still stressed out somewhat. My daughter told me today, she said, "Mommy, I think it's time for you to go." I said, "Go where?" She said, "I think it's time for you to see a psychiatrist." And I was like, I don't need to see no psychiatrist. I talk to everybody. I talk to people so I get it out of my system so that I don't get high blood pressure and be out of here. You know what I'm saying? So that's the scenario. I don't know why. It just seemed like every little thing bothers me. Every little thing.
Wow. And you know what? When you get to that point, sometimes that's a sign that you need to be doing something different. I think I kind of look at life in increments from birth to 10. That's one phase of life. From 10 to 20 is another phase of life. 20 to 30 and so on and so on, another phases of life. And so I think every 10 years at least, we need to do an assessment of our lives. Where am I? Who am I at this point in my life? Am I living the life I love? Am I living my best life? And one of the things I like to say to people is every day you get up, live your best life. Doesn't mean you're going to live the life you envision right then, but every day I live the best life I can possibly live for that day. And I think that's important. And you know what? Sometimes I remember, and I think I've shared this a number of times, when I first moved up here, I was an emotional wreck. I the years of stress, the years of catering and giving to everybody else and ignoring my own needs. I thought if I got up and I did the basics every day, I'd be okay. No, we've got to look at our lives, what's infecting our lives and thus affecting how we're responding and the outcomes as a result of what we're doing. A lot of people, it's very easy to point fingers and blame everybody else. But you know what? We're responsible for our lives. And, another point is if you're sleepwalking through your job, people get into jobs and they say, oh my God, I can't stand getting up and going to work every day. I created the job I had for myself that I was doing prior to my retiring from that job. But I had to earn my way to that point of being able to be trusted and received in a way that is conducive to my positive growth and development. Things don't just happen. Life is hard. It's hard work. And we have to decide that we're willing to do the work at every phase of our lives. From 60 to 70, there's a whole new life that I have to shape for myself, because all the life prior to this, I gave this other people. I was always there, always doing, always helping people to shape their lives. Well, now it's time for me to shape my life. And all the things I did years prior to this have been the caveat for which I have ended up with health challenges I'm dealing with now. But I like to say to people, if we use willpower and wisdom together, we can get through these health challenges or these challenges we have at every phase of life. Jackie, what do you think would transform your life and make it more fulfilling and worth living at this particular point? What are the things, you have all the answers. We have all the answers for ourselves. Other people think they got answers, but they can't even handle their own business. So I don't allow people to tell me what I should do for my life or what I should be doing. If I want some advice, I'll go to the person I think can give me the caliber advice that I need. So what is it you think? And in your heart of hearts what it is, but sometimes we have to say it out loud and hear ourselves high-fiving that. So what do you think you need to do? What are the changes you think you need to make in order to build your life in a way that continues to support your happiness?
I need to mind my business, Deb. I need to actually mind my business because I'm in everything except for a coffin. Like, I have my kids, my grandkids, and I want to make sure everybody is all right. I'm when things is messed up, I'm there. What's going on? What do I need to do? Call me. I'm just all over the place. And if somebody call me with an issue, then I'm trying to help them. I keep my phone on specifically so that if anybody needs to call me and talk to me about anything, I'm not a therapist, I'm not a professional, but I'm a great listener. And sometimes I give okay opinions about different situations.
Right.
So I can talk about different issues. Now, if you call me with an issue, it's up to you to take my advice. If not, like my mom did me, I used to ask her for her advice, but she knew that I was going to do it my way. But if whatever advice I got and I didn't use it and I did it my way and it fell for me, she never said, I told you so. Right. But at least I know that I have an option to take that choice to listen to her or do it my way. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I feel about everybody, especially all of the people that I love. Like, I want you to have an option. I want you to be able to call somebody. I don't want you to commit suicide because you wasn't able to talk to somebody. I don't want you to go hurt somebody because you didn't talk to somebody first to talk you down, because you might have hurt somebody and go to jail. You know what I'm saying? I'm that type of person. So now I'm at the stage where I'm 64 years old, ready to be 65 on my birthday. I need to mind my business and get myself into Jackie more.
Right. Right.
You know what I'm saying? I've been in this neighborhood forever. I want to get out of this neighborhood.
Absolutely. I met you in that neighborhood. And
Oh,
and how many
yeah.
places have I moved since then? How many moves have I made since then?
You
You
made
got
about 2 moves. You made two, Deb. You moved on Fifth Avenue over there, and then from there you went up in the hills, and I ain't seen
right,
you since.
right. Yeah, hello. I mean, no, you guys came and we all had a day together. But you know what? I think you know what you need to do. What's stopping you from doing it?
Uh, I'm afraid. I have to be honest. I'm afraid to make a move, because of my health issues. I feel like I'm right here, right where everything is happening. That right there. I think I'm afraid a little bit to be alone. I'm not absolutely sure about that. I have to analyze that situation,
Right.
So, but everything is, I know what I need to do, and I just got to get up the nerve to do it. I got to make a move,
You've
make a
got you've
clean
got to
break.
add courage to your life. That's what you're
Yes,
saying? Okay.
yes.
Absolutely. Growing to the next level requires courage, and I think it's been easier for me because I didn't have a mother and a father who were involved in my lives. My mother was in a mental institution, more in than out. My father, well, that's another story altogether. The bottom line here is I've had a lot more practice at this than a lot of people. And let me just say, no matter what moves we make, there's a little bit of fear associated with it. But I think that we have to step out of that box called fear, because life is outside that box. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes we get so caught up in our comfort zone that in essence really isn't a comfort zone. It's just a place where we hang out because we feel safer there because we know what to expect. And knowing what to expect, whether it's good, bad, or ugly, does bring a certain level of comfort. But let me tell you, stepping outside that box, every time I make a new change, I'm stepping outside of a box, a place of comfort that I may have been for a certain period of time. But let me just say, one of the things I've learned is that when it's time, it's time. And if we don't move and grow along with the process of evolution, because you know what? Growth is the process of life. Trees grow, new leaves every year. Flowers blossom every year. They let go of their old and they prepare for the new. And that's so important that we realize that, yes, I don't know what's out there, but I'm willing to be the explorer and find those pieces that I need to add to my puzzle of life. So that by the time I take my last breath, that puzzle is complete. I can close my eyes and move on into the next life, into the next world, or whatever the case may be, knowing that I did my very best in this life, that I lived a life that was full, that was interesting, that brought contentment to my life. So we are the ones who have to do that work. We can't expect other people to. And I think having people that we trust and know love us, I mean, really know loves and cares about us, that we can turn to and be part of our support system, unbelievably awesome when we have those kind of relationships. People who encourage us to move out. You were going to
You
say
said
something, Jack?
that important word, comfort zone. This
Mm-hmm.
is my comfort zone. I
Yeah.
feel like I feel like I could have made a move years and years ago. I could have moved all the way to Florida. But because I was raising my children, I felt like this is the safest place for me to be. I know everybody knows me. And I really don't need to go nowhere, because if I go someplace else, nobody will know who I am. I have a job, and my mom is here. So I mean, I might as well just make myself comfortable. And that's what I did. I'm in my comfort zone. And that word
Absolutely.
comfort zone, it goes more than just your living. It goes in your relationship. It goes in, your quality of life, the way you are used to living and the people you are used to being around you. It's just too much comfort zone.
Absolutely. And there's no challenge or change in that comfort zone, is there?
No, it's not.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I see Keisha, your daughter, has somehow popped into this picture. Hey, Keisha.
Hey, I've
You
been
know,
here. I just don't know how to operate Zoom.
oh, okay, that's all right. Just hold tight and listen, and if you can share any pearls of wisdom that your mother needs to hear out loud from her daughter, because you know what? Sometimes we as mothers, we're so busy trying to be what our daughters or our children need that sometimes we're not listening. And I think listening is an important part of the growing to the next phase or getting to the next level in our lives. And there's all types of listening. I mean, well, actually, there's two types. There's the type you hear with your ears, and there's the type you hear with your inner ear. So there, you're
Mm-hmm.
going to get different messages, I think, as we grow and evolve. But you got to know where those messages are coming from. Are those messages positive? Are those messages lifting me up and holding me up? Are those messages helping to guide me to the ultimate place I envision for myself? So there are many questions and many issues, that we need to absolutely take a clear and concise look at as part of the growing to the next level phase. It's not just going to happen. We don't just get picked up and dumped into the next level. If you're
Absolutely.
not if you're not ready for the next level, you're not going to get there. So we have to do the work that's essential. And that's really difficult. I mean, I think I've had to do the work because I didn't have a mother and a father to guide me. So I had to figure things out on my own. And I made lots of bump. I got a lot of bumps and bruises. I made a lot,
Mm-hmm.
went through trials and tribulations that I thought was horrific. But they all made me a stronger woman, more capable of 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 stepping out and moving on. When I left my job in New York, people thought I had lost my mind, but it was time.
I'm
I had a good job, made good money, had a great co-op on Madison Avenue. I was living the life everybody said is the life that you get when you do A, B, C, D. But they didn't talk about E, F, all the way to Z, that this was just one component of my life. So now I needed to move to that next level. Was I going to do it? I was scared. I'll admit it. I was scared as heck. I went one whole year without an income. And let me tell you, I prayed my way through that, because how do you
Mm-hmm.
make it a year with no real income? But I did. Again, I always say willpower partnered with wisdom will get us a long way toward achieving the ultimate life that we want to live. And let me just say, when we don't move out of that comfort zone, we find ourselves making unhealthy choices. Let's talk about
Mm-hmm.
choices. What kind of unhealthy choices are you engaging in right now, Jack?
Oh my goodness, Deb. Not now.
Oh yeah, you may as
Oh,
well face it right here and now, because you're gonna help somebody possibly looking and listening this evening understand that we gotta face our demons. We gotta face those hard things that we don't want to face, because until we're able to grow beyond them, we're not going anywhere. We're gonna stay stuck in the cesspools of life, jump from one cesspool to another, and then we wonder why our life smells funky, because you won't get out of the cesspool. So come on.
yeah, well, I'm a procrastinator. That's that's the thing that I have to say. I'm the worst. I make a decision, and it's in my mind and in my heart to do whatever I'm deciding to do, and then I sleep on it for months and still don't do it. So I'm a horrible person. And it's somehow or another here lately at this age, it's hard for me to make a decision to do something and move forward fast. Like I sit on it too much. That's about it. And that goes in a relationship as well.
All relationships, whether they're friendships, co-workers, associates, whomever, I think that we have to assess the people in our lives, Jackie. I think that's something you need to do. Assess the people in your lives. Who are they? Where are they in their evolutionary growth process, where you are? And, you have to understand that it's way past your time. And so your feelings of discomfort and discontentment with your life right now is all about you're not working with the process of evolution. You're being drugged, kicking and screaming to the next level. But it's time. It's time. What do you need? What do you think you need to do right now that will help change your life for the better? What step? And it doesn't have to be anything big. And I would recommend start small and grow from there. You make one little step. I put something up yesterday on Facebook about growth, and all you have to do is take one step. And yesterday and every day, I take one step toward getting to where I want to be, just one step. And sometimes I don't feel like it, but I do it because I know if I take a step, the universe is going to take a leap toward getting me to where I want to be. So what small step are you willing to take now? You do a lot of procrastinating. You have health challenges. And I think when we talked on the phone the other day, I said to you, you're living around your sickness, the things that are that you're medically dealing with. Everything is about making a place for that sickness, that illness, rather than living your life, doing what you have to do to manage your health challenges, but you working your life around those challenges as opposed to doing what needs to be done for those challenges and moving on with your life on a daily basis. So what is one small step you're willing to commit to in order to get your life moving to that next level?
Well, I need to be more I need to be more mobile. I need to move around a little bit more because right now I'm in pain with severe arthritis.
Yeah,
So
me too.
my excuse for not walking 4 or 5 blocks. And then they found out some information about my blood work, so that it makes me tired. My hemoglobin is real low, so now I'm on iron pills and stuff like that, and I'm always tired. I'm always, it's getting better though. I feel like it's getting better with the iron stuff. I feel like I need to go and be checked out again. But other than that, I need to make tiny steps towards movement.
And I agree with you. Me too. The doctors years ago told me that one of the reasons we moved to the spot we're in, it's a great place to walk. I love to walk. But the doctor said to me, because of my knees and my back, that no walking on cement, not even grass. But you know what? I've decided I'm going to start doing a little walking. It doesn't mean I'm going to start jogging, because I used to jog around Central Park years ago. But I've got to do something to help me to feel better than what I'm feeling now. I mean, I have to say, on a scale of 1 to 10, I probably feel most days I'm at a 5 or 6. But I'd like to get to an 8 or 9. And right now I have doctors who I'm working with, my bariatric doctor, because I had the gastric bypass surgery 20 years ago. And as a result of taking ibuprofen, I developed years of taking ibuprofen because of my back. which helps to deal with the pain, I developed what's called a gastric stricture, which put me in the hospital in April because I didn't know what was going on, and they had to do all these tests. And that's the issue. So I'm working with a bariatric doctor who put me on a regimen that's working, which means for the moment, I don't have to have surgery to correct that situation. So, doing our blood work and doing all of the tests we need to do to find out where we are on the scale of health empowers us with the ability to make the caliber of changes we need to be. And small. I said, I'm going to get up and start walking, but I'm not going to stomp as I walk around. I'm just going to do a little walking in the area where I am and then come back. A little is better than nothing. And, the doctors can only give us some suggestions. We have to gauge how we actually feel and if this works for us or doesn't work for us. We can't put the onus or the total responsibility for our health onto the doctors, because when we go into a doctor, we need to be able to say, this is what's going on, what's the resolution, what are my options? We have to take an empowered posture with respect to doing what we need to do, making the changes. So I'm making some changes with respect to improving the quality of my health. This morning, I had sciatic pain that was kicking my butt big time. So I took a couple of muscle relaxers and a couple of Tylenol extra strength. Woo! I felt like I had just drank a whole bottle of gin. I was drunk from the medicine. So I went upstairs. My mind and my body said, go back to bed. I went back to bed. It must have been about 9 this morning or so. And I didn't get up until 2 minutes to 4 this afternoon. I felt better. I got back up and I had a little something to eat. I took my daily meds, and I'm not on a lot of medications, just a medication to deal with my vitamin D level was low. So they put me on a regimen. So I take the vitamin D twice a week, and then I have some over-the-counter vitamin D that I take the rest of the week so that I can help to reinforce what needs to be dealt with from a health perspective. So I think you need to just sit down and look at the health challenges and write out what you're willing to do. What can you do to improve those health challenges?
Yeah, I've been doing that. I write things down, and I know, like, I have a little bucket list of health bucket list and a fun bucket list.
Okay.
So traveling is something that I wanted to do, but with this COVID-19 going on, it slows you down a bit.
Yes, it does.
But I have more years in front of me than I do behind me. So I'm trying to go ahead on and have fun, because so many people are dropping like flies. It's unbelievable. So, I have my little list. I know what I need to do, and I just need to apply it and stop procrastinating.
Absolutely. And procrastination is the demon that's standing in your way. You got to find a way. You got to play David and Goliath. You got to find a way to knock that Goliath of procrastination out of your way, because it's stopping you from living the life that you really want to live. And we're challenged by life itself to continuously grow and evolve. And people who refuse to do that, they get left behind. And it's not, don't blame it on God. Don't blame it on other people. We've got to take the onus and the responsibility for doing those things that we need to do. But that requires daily assessment. I do what I call a combo: prayer and meditation. Every morning before I get out of the bed, I pray and I just say, okay, God, what's on my agenda for the day? How I do a self-check. How am I feeling? Do I feel like doing X, Y, Z? Today, I had to cancel both my mammography and my bariatric appointment with my doctor today because I really was not feeling good enough to leave the house. I feel so much better right now, but you know what? I made some wise choices about what I needed to do this morning to make myself feel better and prepared for the show tonight. So, I mean, I think we got to do that deep introspective analysis. I go deep. I close my eyes and I talk to God. And once I've said everything I had to say, ask for whatever it is I wanted to ask for, and even give thanks for everything I have, I just quiet myself and allow the God presence within me to talk back to me, to provide me with what I need for that day. And I think, one of the things that I say to people, if your inner voice doesn't sound friendly, encouraging, or inspiring, that ain't God. Okay. Sometimes we can be our own worst enemy. We make excuses for not doing what we need to do. We let other people decide what we should do. We try and live within the limitations of other people's perceptions of us. And ultimately, what we end up doing is turning the power of our life over to other people, or we're just letting the power remain dormant if we're not allowing other people to latch on and sip and sup on our power. So I think it's so important to pay attention to the voices in our head. What kind of messages are we getting? If I'm not getting a positive message, I bypass it. I kick that message to the curb. I am not going to do anything that is not falling in the realm of positive energy, being inspired, being encouraged, being loved, being accepted for who I am right now. And I think that's an important piece. And Keisha, can you hear us well?
Now I can hear you again. I don't know what I did, but I fixed it.
Okay, all right. That's your mama there. What would you say to her now? I mean, she doesn't have to raise your children or your sister's children. You guys do that. She doesn't have to be around so that if someone needs to fall, they fall on her instead of other folks. What advice would you give your mother right now about living the rest of her life?
Worry about her. She spends so much of her time worrying about grown people because everybody that she's worried about is grown. She worried about them. She wants to make sure everybody live in peace and tranquility. And I tell her, you have to make yourself happy. You have to do what you need to do for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I tell her all the time, I say, listen, because she tells me all the time, oh, I'm tired. Oh, this hurts. Oh, that's hurt. And I said, you have to push through that. Push through the pain and get to getting, walk, go places, do things, enjoy yourself.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I know, Jackie, you talk about fun. I don't know anyone who's had more fun with their lives than you. I mean, anyone go to your Facebook page and look at your pictures, say, Lord have mercy, this is truly a party girl. She is having fun. But you know what? After a while, that same old fun becomes boring. So you need to add something different to that fun package that you have created for yourself. What do you think you'd like to do and can do that will add a different dimension to your fun package?
Oh my goodness. Like I said before, I would just like to travel. I would like to go a few places that I have not been before and maybe repeat some places that I have been to before. Anything, like when I go to Atlantic City, believe it or not,
right.
When I go to Atlantic City and I stay over there for the weekend, when I'm getting ready to come back across the GW Bridge, my whole persona changed.
Oh,
it's like over there, it's a bunch of friendly people. They talking to you, you smiling, you having a nice time. Then when you get over here, it's like, oh man, back to this again.
You have said a mouthful, because my daughter and I talk about that all the time. And I haven't been back to New York in a few years. But when we get to that George Washington Bridge and get ready to head over into New York City, it's like, oh my God, it's like we can feel the negative energy. We can feel the I don't even know what if there's a proper word for it. There's a climate change. As soon as we get across that bridge, we can feel that energy that is not supporting and is not, what is conducive to our well-being. And let me tell you, when we get in the car to head back, We can't get back across the George Washington Bridge fast enough heading back to the Pocono Mountains, you know? And like I said, I haven't left the Pocono Mountains in quite some time. And now with the COVID, because I had planned to move to North Carolina in August, but my girlfriend and her husband and I, who all of us were getting ready to make that move, we decided that this was the best place for us right now. We needed to be able to gauge and look at what's happening. We don't want to go from one problem to another problem. You know, you go to a new place, everybody's scared to talk or connect with everybody. Everybody's wearing masks. It's difficult to connect with the caliber of energy that you're seeking to connect with through other people when people are fearful and when they're wearing masks. And I'm a proponent of masks. Wear those masks when you go out and you're in crowds or whatever. But the bottom line here is, you know, that things have changed. They really have changed. And so we have to take the time to figure out, where do we fit in to this change? How do we continue to live our lives fully and with all the vim and vigor we can muster up at this point in our lives? There's a whole lot of assessing that needs to go on right now with the COVID-19 situation kind of stifling so many of us. There's but so much we can do at the moment. And I'm with you, Jackie. Look, the first time we can, let's get on a bus, let's get on a train, let's go somewhere, let's do something. Let's see. I want to see much more of this world that I was born into before I leave it, you know? And that for me is what I find exciting growing forward. You know, I want to do some traveling. And you know what? Everybody wants to go out of the country. I'd like to travel to all of the states of the United States. I'd like to embellish myself in the best of the states. And that's one of the things I tell people to do. You don't have to engage in negative energy of any type, no matter where it's coming from, whether it's people, places, or things. We have the power to choose. We've been given the power to choose, but we have to choose wisely if we want to live the caliber of lives that we envision and that I really believe we were designed, created, and born into this world to live. But there's so much dysfunction here. We just got to recognize and understand it's up to us to see the dysfunction and steer clear of it. And, you know, I grew up in a very dysfunctional family. So I'm a master at dysfunction. I know what it looks like. I know what it sounds like. I know what it feels like. I know what it is. And I think that as women, particularly you and I, Jackie, we go way back. Our daughters grew up together, and you know they're still connected. We're all still connected. But the process of growth is an individual choice that we have to be willing to make. But we need to understand we want to make wise choices. We want to make the best choices possible, because I think a lot of women spontaneously do stuff. They don't give any thought to what would the outcomes look like if I do this as opposed to that. So we have to start looking strategically at the things that are going on in our life and the choices that we want to make in order to maximize the quality of our lives. You know, I think that one of the things, and I'm going to point this at you, Jackie. You know, a lot of times we want the best for ourselves, and we're busy trying to piggyback everybody else into heaven on earth with us. But you know what? The bottom line here is if that person ain't earned the privilege of getting into heaven on earth, you can try and piggyback them all you want to. You ain't getting in, and they ain't getting in.
Absolutely.
So we have to understand the physics and the overall science and mathematics and the art of living the lives that we are attempting to live. You know, I think because of our history in this country in particular, we've been conditioned not to go after what we want. We've been conditioned to believe whatever people say. We've been conditioned to believe we're not good enough. We've been conditioned to believe so many things that go against the grain of who we are, that we're fighting unseen and invisible forces that we don't even understand is out there. But the moment we do the work we need to do and we begin to get on path, it changes the whole dynamic of our lives.
But it's you know, it's a little rough for our race, because I mean, every race, every nationality there is, they stick together. People stick together. Jews, Africans, Jamaicans, Puerto Ricans, Dominicans, they stick together in our race, and our black race. There is no unity.
The African American race,
Yes.
body of people.
There's no unity in this race. So each one teach one, each one help one. We could guide each other, and we could have so much if we came together. And we just can't get it together.
You are breaking up. I don't know why, but we need to hear what you are saying, because I think what you're saying is right on point with respect to who we are and why we have become so stagnant in the process of living life. Go ahead, Jackie. Yeah, try again.
Each one teach one, and we can help each other, but there's no unity in this race. If we had unity, then it would be a better life for us. We could probably skip through you know what I'm saying? But we don't have that. We don't support one another. I mean, I could have a store downstairs, and my people will do 90 walking past my store to go to the store of the Arabs on the corner, because they don't want to see me get nothing or go nowhere. You know what I'm saying? It's just horrible.
I got you. And I mean, I think I've had conversations along this line till I'm blue in the face. And you know what the solution is? You bypass all those people. You can't depend on those people to support us, to cheer for us. And so you have to recognize with what you're dealing. Maybe you need to put that store in the middle of another place. Maybe we have to make changes. We can't make excuses for not being supported. You support me, I support you, we support each other, and we can only do what we can do. If we spend a lot of time and energy talking about people who don't support us or being upset about it, then whose fault is that? We have to now look as people, as free people. We have to operate as free people. We have the option. If you're not going to support me, I'm picking up my little bag and I'm moving somewhere else. And before we open up businesses, we need to take a strong look at who our supporters are going to be. And we need to make moves in that direction instead of making moves in certain places and ways that we're going to have to fight with people to support us, to care about us, to bring their dollars there. I don't worry about any of that. Go ahead.
I just wanted to jump in for a minute, because we had Jane in the chat room, and she said, yes, as women, we are conditioned to make it better for everyone else. And I also have to say that I agree with Jackie that there is no support or no unity amongst us. And we had a topic about 2 weeks ago with Vera Moore, and she said you have to diversify. So we sit up here and we talk about only black, but we don't support each other enough to only buy black. We only want to support what we want to support, or we don't like this one, so we're not going to buy from that one. So there's no unity for us to do anything. So in order for us to do something, it has to be diversified. And also, it's the human race. I don't look at a person's color. I look at what they do, how they treat me, how we treat each other, and that's it.
The content of their character. Right. Mm-hmm. Right. Absolutely.
Well,
we got to stop looking for our people to support us.
But
to a large extent, they're not going to do it. They don't want to do it. Many live that crab in a barrel mentality. I don't want you to get higher than me. I don't want your light to shine brighter than mine. I don't want you to have a big house or a nice car because until I get it, and then maybe, but then I want to be, you know, the main person who everybody says, oh, look what she did. But life is not about competing with each other. It's not about what you have versus what I have. It is all about our connecting with the caliber of person, of energy that is conducive to our successful progress in life. I love being a Black woman, but I don't like some of the things I see in the African-American population. And personally, I think the African-American population is on its way out. If you look, there's so much moving from one race to the next. You got Black women marrying white men, Spanish men, Chinese men, and the same thing for men. Black men marrying white women, Spanish women, other women. We are slowly becoming an extinct race of people. You know why? Because most of us are tired of the nonsense, and we want to be around people who support us, who are conducive to our well-being. We can't get to the next level. We can't grow and evolve in healthy ways if we keep toting the baggage of our past with us. Yes, we need to remember our past so that we do not repeat steps that send us right back to the past. But we've got to keep moving forward. We got to keep moving and grouping and growing and being and becoming. And one of the things I keep saying to people, you know, everybody wants to become. I think Michelle Obama's book, Becoming, a great idea. I have not had a chance to read the book, but who are you right now? Are you happy with being who you are right now? Because who you are right now is going to set the stage for becoming. But what are you right now, and what is it contributing to your becoming? That's something we need to look at and be very serious about. I don't care what people think about me. I'm not here to get involved with how people think of what people think about me, whether or not they like me or not. I don't care. That's all crap. And crap only gets you more crap. You got to look at the people around you and understand whether or not you need to leave these people behind now. I like to have fun, but are these people I need to be having fun with now? Do I need to find myself a whole new group of people, or maybe one or two people that I could enjoy being around, doing things? You want to travel now. I know you, Jackie, you have been a party girl since I met you. You love going to parties and dressing up and whatever. But I think probably now what you might want to think about doing is, well, how do I transition so that I can live that party life without doing all the things I did before? How can I still enjoy my life? You know, what do I need to subtract from my life right now? And what do I need to add? Because life is really a game of mathematics. It's about adding new life, subtracting old life, embracing the wholeness of our life, and just being the dynamic women we were created to be. That's the bottom line. I don't focus on who likes me, who doesn't like me. I don't focus on what people have. I don't care what you have. I'm busy enjoying and being thankful for what I have. And guess what? Me and Tiffany were talking the other day. All my grandchildren are getting big. One is already grown. We love this house we live in, but it's getting too small. We're like, okay, we need a bigger house now so that everybody can, kind of have more space to move around. And, I need my own little private office. Right now, I have everything set up here in my living room. But you know what? You got to do what you can do with what you have. That's what proves that you're worthy of having more.
And also, Keisha, what are your thoughts on it with us supporting each other? I'd like to hear your thoughts on that as well.
Well, I love supporting.
We can't hear you.
We can't hear you. You must be on mute.
She might be on
I'm on
mute.
Hold up. I don't know how to do this thing here.
Well, until Keisha gets back with us, Okay, Keisha, you there?
Can you hear me?
Okay,
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Muted, Keisha, for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
But even with my daughter, I didn't raise my daughter to be a doctor, lawyer, or Indian chief. See, our people, a lot of people live through their children. Oh, look at the person I created. Oh, look, I'm the stellar mother. Oh, I got it going on. Oh, I'm the best mother ever. Blah, 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 blah. Everybody's got their issues. But I felt that my daughter was not just a beautiful human being, but a highly intelligent human being. And whatever God's plan for her life, I needed to stay mindful and watchful so that I can keep her moving in the direction she's supposed to be going. Not the direction that's going to make me look good, but make me look like the champion mom, the best mom, and all that. It's not about me. Every individual is about that individual. Who are they? Where are they going? What are they about? What is their purpose? And we have to be willing to allow others to live their lives, not feeling as though, oh, well, if we don't make the decisions for them, then they're not going to make the right choices. Like you said, Jackie, your mother can tell you X, Y, Z, or whatever, but ultimately you were going to do whatever you felt you wanted to do. You were going to do whatever you felt you needed to do.
Absolutely.
So, you know what? That's true even now. Human beings, once they get a certain age, they're going to do what they feel guided to do. And we got to stop getting in their way, because the bottom line here is whatever they're doing is setting the stage for whoever they are. So when we back off, we give other people permission to live their lives.
And that's true, because not many people know the history, but right here it's family. It is Tamika, Keisha, and me. It was Jackie and my mother, and we used to all live together. And we were on was that 146th Street? Was it 146 or 142nd? 142nd Street. And we stayed with Jackie and them for a while. And Tamika and Keisha, those were my sisters. That's what I knew as my sisters. We used to, all three of us was in the same bed. We used to eat peanut butter and banana sandwiches. Loved it. Remember that, Aunt Jackie? And get my hair braided. Boy, I couldn't stand that, but I used to be there for hours getting my hair braided. But they didn't tell us, oh, we had to be this, we had to be that. They let us choose for ourselves. And all three of us, we made it, and we did what we had to do. Keisha's a correction officer. Tamika's doing her thing. And then we went through trials and tribulations. Keisha had, Tamika had kids before. It was a whole ball game. I remember when that started, there was an old guy, here she goes, she's having another baby, and there was other, but we all out here, we made it, and no one's, dead, no one sold drugs. We all did what we had to do to make it. So it doesn't matter, as long as you do something, your skills, whatever you have in store for you is going to be your life. You just have to make something of your life and continue to move forward and push forward in whatever it is that you're going to do. And again, there's not going to be many that are going to support, but those that will support, they'll be there. Oh, you'll know who they are. Mm-hmm.
Oh,
absolutely.
Absolutely. Can you patch through now, Keisha?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. What was the question you
asked? I don't know anything about this. I don't know anything about the Zoom. I'm not all of that computer, this new technology stuff. I'm not good with it, but yeah, I'm here though. Now, to piggyback back on what you were saying about the supporting our people. I love to support our people. I'm the type of person that I'll buy from anyone. It doesn't matter. I think it doesn't matter if it's something. If I don't like it, if it's a book that someone wrote, I'll go downstairs. They usually have the book sales on 135th Street. I will go on and spend $200 on books and just leave them somewhere and never read them. But I'm the type of person that I like to support my people. It doesn't matter what you're doing. As long as it's positive, I want to support. I want to see us grow. I want to see us become more than what we are. I want us to see us do bigger things. I love everything positive. Especially working in such a negative environment for so many years, I love positivity. You know, I love to
Absolutely.
think positive. I tell my mother that all the time. You got to think positive. Don't talk like that. Because she says, oh, I have more years behind me than in front of me. I'm like, stop. We're not going to talk like that. We're going to do what we got to do. We're going to move forward. We're going to be happy. And we're going to live and let live.
Absolutely. And let me just say, you know, I say the same thing, Jackie, but to remind myself that this is my time. I have lived a lot more life than I have left, and that's a reality. But how do I want to live the rest of my life? I think that that's what we need to look at. How do I want to live the rest of my life? And you have the ability to do that now. Like Keisha said, everybody you trying to save or help, they grown. Let grown folks handle their own business. You know, when it comes to what a grown person is trying to do or what they're doing, that's your business. Maybe that you have to walk that path in order to get to the point of proving worthy to be at that next level in your development, your human development. So sometimes we don't realize we're being blockers. You know, people talk about cop blocking. Well, we're blocking. We block people when we try and stop them from making choices, using their own minds. A lot of times my grandchildren will come to me and say, Grandma, blah, 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 blah. What do you think? I said, I don't know. What you think? You know, I challenge them to use their minds, because their minds, that's where the gold is. It's in the center. But you got to dig through all of the external stuff that you've been dealing with all your life to get to the next level. You can't get to the next level using the old stuff that has kept you at the level you're at for years. You've got to look for new solutions. You've got to get out and explore. You've got to experiment. You got to expand before you exit. We have to understand that the way of life that our grandparents and our great-grandparents and even our parents, the lives they lived was not conducive for them. So how is it going to be conducive for us? It's not going to be. So the more we use this power tool called brain, the more likely we are to get to that place of success that we envision and that we're seeking. And a lot of us, instead of moving forward, we keep going around and around and around the bush, around and around and around the bush, until we literally set the bush on fire. And then we wonder, then we get angry. Oh, you know, why did that happen? Blah, 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 blah. You know, instead of saying, well, maybe I was supposed to move away from the bush, not keep traveling around the bush or around the mountain. Maybe I'm supposed to climb the mountain, not just go around the mountain. We need to look at what we're doing and the conditioning we've received all of our lives that keeps us in the same place.
And you know what's funny?
Go ahead, Jackie. I think that same place is that mommy dearest syndrome. You know, as a woman, we have that. Well, I feel like, for me, let me speak for myself. Okay. I feel like I'm the support. I gotta be that strong person. I gotta make sure everything is all right before I leave this earth. Everybody is stationary. I would like for everybody to be happy. That's a mission that's impossible, but okay, fine, we'll try it anyway. You know, but I mean, that's where I'm at. Like, you know, I tried, like I said at the beginning of the show, I need to find my business. And if I
don't I say that to you all the time?
A lot more.
I tell my mother that all the time. She calls me, mind your business. What does that have to do with you? I tell her that all the time.
Keisha,
that has nothing to do with you.
After a certain age, we become their mothers. The table's reversed. Like I said, it all goes in a circle. And it's so funny because, Jackie, I hear you say, you know, you want to be everybody's support system. And actually right now, everybody should be reversing it and it should be going in a circle and they should be your support system. And what we're doing now is actually Mama C's vision, you know, but we have the tools and the knowledge to take it a little bit further because we are more internet savvy, social media savvy. So this was actually something that was brought to my attention. You know, they came to me and said, hey, I want to do this. And I'm like, I never thought I would be upfront and mainstream on television, on YouTube, because this wasn't my thing to be, I'm more of the behind the scene person. So it's taken me a little bit of time to get used to doing stuff like this, but sometimes it comes full circle as to what you're supposed to be doing. So sometimes now it's time for them to say, okay, well, what can we do to help our mother's dream come true and get them to the next cycle where they need to be. So this is kind of like her vision. So can we see it out and see this through the end? So after COVID-19 hit and I walked out of my job office, and I'm still, not working right now, but I still have my office, and when we get ready to go back, I have to go back there. But I'm like, we're not going to do this again. We're going to figure this out. And then this just became a reality to making this happen. But this is her vision that I'm able to kind of create, because I know and have the knowledge of computers, technology, and everything else that goes behind it. So I got to take it up, like she said before, I guess I got to build the building, because she's the one that's in front. Like, she'll talk to the lamppost. I'm not the one to talk to the lamppost, but I know all of the other tools to make the rest of it work. So we all got to come together. So I think it's our jobs now as the kids to listen to the Queen Age of Wisdom and then flip it and reverse it and try to do what it does to make everything work so that everybody's comfortable.
Yeah, and I commend you for taking that leap of faith and just saying, you know what? Go caution to the wind, and just whatever happens, happen. I'm going to try to make this work. This doesn't work, I'm going to move to the next level. That right there, that not having that fear is everything. That right there, because what I noticed about my mom, I don't know if she said it earlier, because, I was trying to figure this Zoom thing out. So I heard some of the stuff and I didn't hear some of the stuff. But my mom has a lot of fear of making moves.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, she's like, I want to do this, but she won't do it. She says it's procrastination. I think it's more fear than it is procrastination.
Mm-hmm. All right. And you know what?
When it comes to certain things.
We've come to the 8 o'clock time. And so I think we need to have more of this conversation.
Absolutely.
Jackie, you want to come back and join me next week?
Okay. Just let
Keisha?
Yes, I'll be in next week.
Okay, good. Let's work this out, because you know what? If we can work it out, we can serve as the vanguards for others who are where they are and who need to see how it's done and need to have people who are willing to show them. So on that note, we have come to the end of our show today. And I don't like to say show, we've come to the end of our dialogue today. But we're going to continue this piece on growing to the next level and just getting to the crux of what's getting in the way of our doing so. So thank you, Jackie. Thank you, Keisha, for chiming in. Thank you, Tiffany, for understanding the vision. And yes, I built the foundation, but my daughter's helping to build the building. So we're going to grow and go and glow together. So all of you who are listening, who chime in this evening, thank you. Because I think that what we have here is something that's powerful and that we all need. So be sure to tune in next Thursday evening at 7 p.m. as we continue this dialogue on growing to the next level. So bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
See you guys next week.